You know, as the world gets better, as industries are being built, as so many things are being manufactured, there is a fact that the health of individuals, that the health of humans is actually affected. The depth of that, the knowledge of that is given by experts. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have an expert from the Uganda Cancer Institute, and he's going to be telling us more about what they are doing, what they are up to. Is there help at the Cancer Institute anyway? But a very good evening, East Africa. Welcome to yet a brand new and also exciting edition of The Desk. Now more than ever, I'm yours truly, Shadrach Shagaf Kisame. And of course, if it's Wednesday, it's all about The Desk here on U24 television. And sit back, folks, for those that are interested in health issues. Now, if you're a girl child or if you're a boy child and you're just interested in building a career around health, the man in the chair this day is not someone who has watched things on TV, pocketed them, and now he's telling us, no, he's a practicing medic. This man, I'm telling you, he's going to be exciting us and telling us what should we do. How should we keep ourselves cancer-free? What are the causes of cancer anyway? Is it really in Uganda or we just watch it in the movies? All that on The Desk. But get back to us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But welcome to the show and good to see you, sir.
Thank you very much for having me on the show. It's a pleasure to talk to fellow East African citizens.
Right.
My name is Francis Sharoba-Akene. I'm from the northern part of the country, Uganda, specifically Gulu. But right now I'm a cytologist with Uganda Cancer Institute.
A what?
A cytologist.
Cytologist.
Cytology is the study of cells. You know how a human body is made up of building blocks. Just as a building has bricks that make a wall, then if you put a number of walls together, maybe 4 of them, you can bring up a building. So the cell is like a brick. Then there's also the part of the tissue. The tissue is an organ like the wall. Then the building is like the organism, like you. So a cytologist studies the cell, which is the brick, to see if it has a problem. And some of those problems could be cancer. Knowing well that cancer is a cellular disease, is a disease at cell level, which is able to multiply in the other parts of the body. Ideally, someone can say is excessive production of cells, which are non-functional and can invade or multiply in the body. That is generally cancer.
Doctor, let's first calm down, because I mean, some of us biology was not so good. So we're trying to understand that when we fall sick, what we later on see as, you know, general body failure, it starts with the cells.
Yes, definitely starts with the cells. So ideally, the problem is in your cell. Even malaria, malaria affects the function of the cells. If a cell was, let's say, a blood cell, red blood cell, was supposed to transport food and then transport also oxygen to your other body parts, and then let's say this disease affects how the blood cell operates, it is going to be a problem, but it's still affecting the functionality of the cell. You get at cellular level. Every disease comes down to the cell. To the cell. Yes.
I am telling you, because I know, are there like different kinds of cancers? Because, you know, and do Ugandans know it? Because we've had issues where people think it's witchcraft, and then before you know it, they come to you guys and it's too late.
So there are so many types of cancer. There's various forms of cancer. Every single body part has its own type of cancer.
Wow.
Just as the tongue, the throat, the lungs, the heart, you know, the prostate, the cervix. Yes. Even the penile, there's even penile cancer.
So these things we watch in movies, doctor,
they're really real.
And someone, they've cut their head. You guys have seen those things where they've cut the person bald, and then I thought it was like a general cancer, like.
Actually, that's not the effect of cancer. It's the effect of the treatment of cancer, which is chemotherapy. It's one of the side effects of cancer. Cancer treatment.
Okay, let's first go back and understand the different kinds of cancer before we go into the treatment.
Yeah, so we have various types of cancers, generally everywhere. Skin, you know, anything you can think of, any part of your body that you can think of has its own cancer. You get. But then we also have the most common types of cancers, which, East Africa right now, and specifically Uganda, the predominant one is cervical cancer. which is the cancer of the cervix, is in the reproductive system of a woman, where now we get a lot of the cases all over. Actually, Uganda Cancer Institute right now has the East African Oncological Center of Excellence. That is Oncological Center of Excellence. Study of cancer, treatment of cancer, diagnosis of cancer is called oncology.
Yeah.
So we have a center that is being constructed right now to treat all patients from all over East Africa in Uganda.
Is that in Mulago?
Yes, in Mulago. Uganda Cancer Institute, of course, has the mandate to treat, prevent, to diagnose, and then inform government and influence policies on cancer-related diseases and cancer itself. So now we have all these other types of cancer. The most common one is cervix, cancer of the cervix, with the second one being breast cancer, cancer of the breast, which is not only just for women, but also men. Yes.
Really?
Yes. Men
How
contribute,
come?
breast cancer in men contributes 1% of the total breast cancer cases in
Is
the
that
world.
big percentage?
1% in men is a big percent.
Yes, it's a big
It's
percentage.
a very big percentage, and I think usually it's because men tend to have a very poor health-seeking behavior. So by the time a man goes to, hey, the problem with my breast, it's already too late.
So men can have issues with their breasts.
Yes.
So, okay, I think, doctor, some of us need a lot of schooling. Like some of the things that affect women's breasts can also affect a man's breast.
Yes, some of the things. I like the way you put it. Some of the things. One of the things you can find, or one of the presentation of breast cancer is you find a mass in your breast, a lump in your breast. Some of those lumps are of various types, of course. Some of them are not cancerous, or we call it non-malignant, call them benign. Well, there are others which are malignant. So those masses differ in size. But
when you
it's
say
very
masses, that's the time when I hold and I feel something inside.
Yes, a tumor. Yes, when you feel something in your breast. Now, there are various, the various types of those tumors.
Of the cancers.
Yeah.
Doctor, I want us to go for a break, and then when we come back, we talk about some of the causes. Because now you've enlightened us that a man can also actually have what? Breast cancer.
Yeah.
And so I want us, after the break, to talk about what should people actually look out for so that, they do not fall prey to this cancer. Right, you are still live on the continent's leading intellectual platform. I'm actually... All right, and welcome back. You are still live on the continent's leading intellectual platform, actually the highest platform for solution finding. You guessed right, I'm talking about The Desk. And if it's Wednesday, folks, you also guessed right. It's always about The Desk. Follow us on all our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. TikTok is now buzzing. You should definitely look for Shadrach Kisame everywhere on TikTok. But today, we're discussing more about health. And what we're discussing in particular are the different cancers. We have just found out a mind-boggling fact that even a man can have breast cancer. How do we get here?
So breast cancer and all other forms of cancers usually do have what we don't call causes, but what we call risk factors.
Risk factors.
Yes, factors that puts you in a place where you can develop cancer. Yes. So one of them is genetic. That there are certain types of cancers that someone can inherit from their parents, and it is breast cancer.
Really?
Yes. You see, you don't inherit the cancer, but what you inherit are the genes. You get. Now you see, at cellular level, we're talking about DNA.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So the DNA that you inherit from your
Yes.
parents can also contain some of the genes that can be tumor developing or tumor growth initiating genes. You get. So at the end of the day, you are more prone to developing breast cancer or any other type of cancer if there is a family history of the same or any type of cancers. Then such things like gene we do not have control over because we don't choose who gives birth to
to
or
us,
our
yes.
parents. Then another thing is life choices. life behaviors, like smoking, tobacco, or any other forms of smoke.
Really?
Yes.
Oh yeah, smoking tobacco.
Yes.
And the funny thing, doctor, sorry for cutting you short. The funny thing is that it's always written on that cigarette pack.
Yes.
Excessive consumption of cigarettes may cause
Is harmful to your
harmful
health.
and people are still doing it. Why are we so, inclined to smoking, yet we know the habits?
So
what it causes?
One of the pharmacological effect of nicotine and tar, which are components or substances found in tobacco,
yes.
is addiction. You get. Research has been done and has shown that telling someone who is already addicted, whether severely or not, to some substance does not deter that person from the consumption. You get.
Yes.
So that's why even if they're putting on the packaging that consumption of this product is harmful to your health, they don't care because of
You're
the
already
addiction.
addicted, oh yes.
You get. That what that does is that it can deter new users. You get, like if you're a young kid, you've not been exposed. So when you purchase a box of a pack of cigarettes and you see that, it's like, you pause for a moment, it raises your suspicion. But someone who is already used to consumption, it becomes an issue. Back to cancer,
Yes.
Another issue is alcohol consumption. So alcohol has in it ethanol, and ethanol digestion, not digestion or breakdown, as a way that it forms a substance called formaldehyde or formalin, which in a way forms an aldehyde, which somehow affects your DNA, or it damages DNA and stops reparation of DNA, repair, all that, and increases your potential of developing cancer.
Oh,
But
so
generally, alcohol and tobacco or smoking has a way of suppressing your immune system. So your ability to remove probably cancerous cells from your body, or probably precancerous cells from your body, becomes low.
Doctor, I want to understand, because you say this lowers the level or the chances of the body repairing, the cells repairing themselves. So maybe for the viewers and even for me to understand, a normal functioning human has the ability to repair their cells naturally.
Naturally, yes. I give you a very simple example. Your skin. If you bruise your skin right now, you'll see a layer peeling off, right? Or in the slightest way, you see a layer peeling off. But tomorrow or 3 days after, you come back and find the skin is normal.
When you've not done anything.
When you've not done anything. How do you think that's possible? It is because your body has the ability to repair itself. You get. The body is constantly producing cells, or is constantly producing its bricks, and constantly also destroying bricks. So a brick that is still useful is left. But the moment it is now old or it has a problem, the body destroys and replaces with another one. You get. Now, imagine a state where the body is producing more bricks than it is destroying. So there will be nowhere to put those bricks.
They are more of excess.
So they're excess. Imagine you're doing it with this wall.
Yes.
Where will the wall behind us? Where will those excess bricks go? So the wall will no longer be as smooth as it is. You get. Now that is cancer. That's why you see people having bigger masses. You get. And they say you have a mass in. It is because of that. Another cause of cancer usually is radiation, exposure to radiation, like X-rays, UV light. We are blessed, and that's why they say, environmental conservation is very important. The ozone layer protects us from the sun, UV. You get all those, radiations that could be coming from
that are so much.
Yes, and they're cancerous. And then, also there are other forms of bombs, like atomic bomb. You've seen the case of Japan.
Yes.
You get Chernobyl. People develop a lot of cancer in the years to come. You get. And then there are also other specific causes, especially in cervical cancer of women.
Yes,
there's a virus called human papilloma virus, which is almost also transmitted the same way as HIV, except for blood. You get.
So it's sexually transmitted?
It's sexually transmitted. If you have most of the carriers are men who are not circumcised, because you're carrying from one woman to another. So the HP virus is subspecies of 16 and 18 have a very high potential to induce cervical cancer in women. And so that's why there is a need to do HPV screening. There is need to get vaccinated against. There is a vaccination against HPV virus, which
For
of course-
women?
For women. This is for women. While for the men, most common cancer in men is prostate cancer. Prostate cancer is the cancer of a gland that is responsible for producing the semen. You know, when you are indulging in sexual intercourse, there's a certain fluid that you produce.
The semen.
The semen, yes.
Yes.
So at the end, the prostate gland is responsible for producing the bulk of that semen, the thing that looks mucus in the form. Yes, that is the role of the prostate gland. Those, the semen is responsible for making sure that the sperms are healthy. When they reach, they get what they need. So at the end of the day, prostate gland with age enlarges, and then sometimes you develop cancer. It's very common in older men in Uganda and all over the world. Yes.
Wow. I'm telling you, there's so many things that we take for granted and you actually have no clue. But Doc, I want us to go for a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll just talk about how, briefly how people can prevent that, how people can stay safe. Others don't even care until it happens to them, because usually we've been watching cancers in movies and you don't know someone physically, like I've never seen anyone physically
Thank God.
who has it. So some people think it's not real, but after the break we talk about how people can stay away. But do not go away. The desk takes a break and the desk returns in a moment. All right, and we'll come back now. In case you've just joined us, I'm afraid you've missed the first two insightful segments of this very lovely episode of The Desk, where we're talking more biology than you will ever know. Some of you ditched biology in senior 1. By the time you got to senior 4, there was nothing to talk about. Like, I was going to school with people and they were saying, Shadrack, you're already F9, Mundeke. I'm telling you, but biology is interesting when now the things you studied in theory start happening and you look at it and you're like, oh my God, these guys told us these things. But get back to us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Do that for TikTok as well. Shadrack Kisame, we are there and we'll definitely be able to get right back to you. We're still here with the doctor and he's making us love biology. For some of you, he's getting you scared. Doctor, you're getting people scared.
You shouldn't be scared. They say the more you have information, you're forewarned. So you're forearmed.
Right.
Yes. But of course, right now, I wanted to talk about prevention of, development of cancer. Of course, there are various, specific ways you can prevent cancer. But there are also general ways.
Yes.
Which I think is what we should discuss
Yeah,
right
the
now.
general ones,
Yes. The first one here is the things that you can control, like consumption of alcohol, consumption of tobacco, consumption of genetically modified organisms. Like, you find a very big apple that is the size of your head in a supermarket. Purely that is genetically modified. You get.
So why are they marketing these things to us?
Well, we are not politicians. We are not all this, but and I don't want to speak to that.
Yeah, we don't want to politic.
Yes.
So
But,
doctor, you're saying we should stay.
But somehow these products find themselves on the shelves of supermarkets or being used.
I should stay on my natural things.
Most probably the best. We also find that we're having us sipped into products like agricultural products after using chemicals for preventing pests or boosting them. So it is usually good to be natural, but it's also just healthy lifestyle. Do not consume a lot of alcohol, tobacco, or any forms of tobacco like shisha, vaping. Vaping has
Repeat that, shisha.
And vaping.
What's vaping?
Right now we have what we call e-cigarettes.
E-cigarettes?
Yes. You no longer have you buying a stick of cigarettes, but rather you have it in a device that heats it up.
Oh, I've seen it in movies.
You must have seen it in bars.
No, I'm a pastor. I don't go to.
Okay, still, there's what we call e-cigarettes
This
now.
thing that they hold, and it's like a metal, like a pipe.
No. It's an electronic device that uses electricity to heat up the substances. Like could be nicotine, it could be additives, it could be anything, but it produces smoke or vapor. You get using water. So it's a very common and very trendy thing right now that young people tend to get attracted to because it's about lifestyle. If for example, if you saw the president tomorrow was holding a windpipe,
We'll have a lot of
cigar,
people.
you will have a lot of people trying to smoke cigar. So the same thing is happening over the internet. Of course, the government of Uganda is trying very hard to reduce, advertisement and all that, but it's still not enough. Although I would like to tell the young people out there, don't be deceived. These are electronic nicotine, delivery systems.
Right.
That's
right.
how World Health Organization calls it. So you find that you're consuming it. And in those things are substances that can cause cancer. Another thing is also you shouldn't engage in ways that can sexually transmit HPV, which is the virus that causes cervical cancer.
For the women.
So we advise young men to get circumcised, women to go get screened. Screening at Uganda Cancer Institute is free of charge.
Okay.
Yes, it's free of charge. Even the vaccination should be free of charge, but it's not yet there with us. Also, another thing is that regular screening is very good for all types of cancers. You get
Right.
like breast cancer. You can't do your personal screening from home by checking your breast. If you feel any mass in your breast, small or large, you should come to Uganda Cancer Institute for a checkup, thorough checkup.
Right.
Yes,
Before,
and it's free of charge.
Doctor, before we wind up, I want give us a feel of the Uganda Cancer Institute. What do I need to do? I just walk in there and
Also,
is it
Uganda
appointment? What exactly happens?
Uganda Cancer Institute is a specialized institute for treating cancer, but then also others like preventing cancer, dispensing information on cancer, early detection of cancer, screening cancer. It's operate almost like a hospital. It's a general government hospital. We do not have only one branch, which is in Kampala, but we also have other branches in Mbarara, Gulu, Mbale, and then Kampala here. One is being constructed also in Arua right now.
Nice.
Uganda Cancer Institute, you walk in. There are departments, and there is a department for screening.
Okay.
Specifically screening. But they also go into communities, yeah? It's called Community Cancer Services, where you go to the institute, it's free of charge, you see a doctor, you tell them what you intend to do, and then we do screening. We test you, whether you probably have it or not. You don't necessarily have to be sick to go to screen.
Right.
That's the idea of screening, that I check before I have the disease. Whether or not I most probably have the precondition of the disease.
Of the disease, right.
You get. So that is what screening is about. And I invite as many people as possible come, especially young girls who are now 16 years and above, or are now sexually active. Show up at Uganda Cancer Institute.
So immediately, you discover your children have become sexually active. Just take them for screening to be on the safer side.
It is good to do that and also get them to vaccinate against HPV and then also if you have history of cancer in your family,
yes.
You have never interacted with cancer, but you never know. One of your relatives must have had cancer in the same, progeny. So it's good to usually,
Information actually is key, doctor. Before we wind up the discussion, give some people some motivation here. When does the love for medicine or biology start, and was it always easy like you're telling us here?
Oh no, it wasn't always easy.
Some of us left it in S1.
Science has been easy for me. It's arts that was very hard.
Now doctor is just showing off now.
No. God has his ways of building people.
Yeah.
Someone will find it very easy with words, while someone is failing to, put up even one word. For me, it was biology was easy, but really to go into medicine, because if you study biology, you can be so many things.
Yes.
To go into medicine, I think it was my experience with my elder brother was sick one time, and we were in the hospital. And we needed help, but the hospital didn't really have enough staff, didn't have doctors. and we couldn't get the help we wanted in time and all that. You know, being Ugandan, coming from a humble family,
Being
you know,
Ugandan.
and we're from northern Uganda, so we took so long, and I felt so helpless, being young and all that. And I thought for myself, if I could do this, if I could help this situation, it would be good. So I picked the interest of medicine, but cancer. While at medical school, my grandmother got breast cancer, and I had to walk the journey with her. So I picked interest.
Wow, what an inspiration. Thank you so much for talking to us, Doc. It's been really, really insightful. I think we should get, you know, these 30 minutes on the desk can never really be enough.
No.
We should get some time and then we go deeper. You know, the entire time the doctor was talking, and I'm like, why did I miss class? Why did I miss class? But I'm telling you, I know so many of you are doing the same, and you're like, they talked about cells and here we were missing class, but that's up to you, and you can be the judge. Here on the desk we always have life solutions, life hacks. Like for today, we've had so many life solutions about biology. But get back to us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, TikTok, everywhere, YouTube, Shadrach Kisame, and we'll definitely be able to get back to you. But that's all we had for this week's edition of The Desk. May the good Lord bless this beautiful Uganda, for God and my country. Until next week, ciao.